Spree, right behind you.
Strange. Vice Mayor Strange, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson, with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He
that.
was served a federal subpoena this
We
morning.
did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
Most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
So I have been reporting to you especially on the city of Panama City Beach since 2015, but really in earnest right around 2016. And since then, we have seen all kinds of stuff, haven't we? How forgiving is the city of PCB when you don't get your permits that you need to get? The answer is, it depends. See, if you're connected, that's cool in the gang. But if you are a critic, or if you're somebody that one of the members of the council or perhaps the city manager has a personal vendetta against, then hell, they'll go to a judge. Cole Son Davis, the city attorney, went to Circuit Judge Ana Maria Garcia back in 2017? Maybe 2018, and said that her brand new, beautiful buildings were fire traps that could combust at any moment. And therefore, they needed to execute an inspection warrant. They needed to go into her home. And Cole Son Davis lied to Judge Ana Maria Garcia, who eagerly accepted the lie. She was a new judge at the time, and issued the inspection order after she already had a CO. I don't want to rehash everything, but do you know what the city's, while Janice Hatcher was in California with her sister who passed away. I mean, at that very time. It was evil what they did, and they know it was evil, but they did it anyway. But to show how much common sense that they had, they decided they would turn off her water after calling the buildings fire traps. That's what they did. So the city will unleash hell on you if they say that you don't follow the permits, get everything, even if you do, right? They'll just come back and rehash things. But the city itself does not, they break state laws themselves. And I'll prove it to you. I've told you about Popeye Park, which is a plot of land that is owned by the residents, the owners, in a low water subdivision. All right, we know this already. The city admits it when they're under oath, but they lie the rest of the time. So they stole a piece of private property, a boat launching area, and they built a public park on it and named it Popeye Park. They did this in 2019 to benefit former mayor Mike Pay-to-Play Thomas. They stole the lot of land. Then they built a park to benefit the former mayor's family, who lived right next door. I don't mean down the road. I mean, you could throw a tennis ball and hit the side of what's right next door. Now, of course, this is all under investigation and it's taking for damn ever. But what I want to tell you is the city is required, right? Is there a lot of flooding in low water now? Yeah, there is, especially with all the monkey business and the stormwater stuff. The city did not have, as required by law, the city has told me so, they did not have pull any permits to build a pole barn that is so big and it would not meet code, right? It would not meet code. I've looked at it closely. Also, the city wired electricity. So the city told me they didn't have any permits, which is against the law. Secondly, the city cannot tell me who the electrical contractor was that the city's building official signed off on in order to have Gulf Power start the power. They cannot, and they have not, given me the name of the electrical contractor because the city used its own employees under Kelly Jenkins in the utility department to slap this thing together to benefit former Mayor Mike Pay-to-Play Thomas's family. Now, last week, I asked a few questions to the city council about this. Do you think they answered my questions? Do you think that they have sent me an answer since then? It was Thursday night that I went and saw them, which I'm going to show you my comments. The comment I asked at the end freaked out Vice Mayor Jeff McConnell. You're not going to believe it. Also freaked out Mayor Mark Money Mover Sheldon. I'm going to show you these comments, and I'm going to tell you more about it, behind the scenes stuff, right after this. Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome. All right, let's get right to my Facebook page, The Bernie Thompson Show, where I've posted the video. Here are my comments Thursday night at the city council meeting. Let me make sure everything's queued up here. Here we go. Please. I got 4 things I want to talk about quickly. The first is Popeye Park. The city, of course, built a park on private land in Lowwater in 2019, and the city pulled no permits as required by law. The city will not tell me the name of the electrical contractor that wired the lights at Popeye Park. I need to get the name of the electrical contractor. I know that your building official, Mark McWaters, signed off on the electrical plan or the electrical contractor. So I need to get the name of the electrical contractor as required by law in order to activate Gulf Power. Second issue is public records. I made a public record request 2 weeks ago, finally got an answer about, I'd like to get any and all emails with the search word Bernie, my name. Do you know that nearly 9,000 hits came up? My name has been in 9,000 emails in the city. Can you believe that? So I sent a public record request to the city of Panama City Beach. I wanted every email that had my name in it since I started reporting on the city. They said that there were nearly 9,000 hits. And I believe, they still haven't given me an answer, I believe they want to charge me more than $10,000, probably close to $14,000 for all of these emails. I just want digital copies. They have programs that can grab them quickly, file them, and send them. But the city has come up with legal schemes to try to prevent people from getting simple public records. That's what they do. And they use it as a firewall. Now, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But could you imagine 9,000 hits? I mean, I knew I was on their mind, but I didn't know I was this much on their mind. I'll let you know when they tell me actually how much it's going to cost to get those public records since 2016. Now, you charge $50 now for 30 pages
of public records. That comes to, I think, around $14,000. Am I going to have to pay $14,000 to get public records with my name on it? Third issue has to do with campaign season, which we are in. Two of you are, your terms expire.
Okay, here's where they freak out. And let me explain why they're about to freak out, okay? So two of these guys are running for, two of them, there are five of them. Two of them, their terms expire. Vice Mayor Jeff Angry Elf McConnell. Is he laughing? No, he's not laughing. And Paul Casto. Now, Paul Casto has signed up to run again. The election is in April. So it's election time. Now, they don't want us mentioning that they don't keep their campaign promises. So they've gotten together, and anytime you mention that they haven't kept a campaign promise, they like to scream, electioneering, this is electioneering. We don't do electioneering here. Now, what they mean is there is somebody who signed up to run against Paul Casto, and the city has a policy, and I think it's fair enough, that you can't go up there and promote your campaign, all right, during city meetings. But what they're doing is accusing me. I'm just looking at some of these comments. What they're doing is accusing me of doing that when I did this. Now, Jeff McConnell, Vice Mayor McConnell, who I'm going to address, he has not signed up yet to run again. And I'm not entirely sure he is going to sign up to make him run again, I'm not sure he's going to do it. But if he does do it, I don't know what he's going to run on. Do you know what Vice Mayor Jeff McConnell ran on the last time? Jeff McConnell is a businessman. Jeff McConnell is a family man. Jeff McConnell is a military man. Now, that's only two and a half of those are true. But I'm going to focus on the businessman stuff. So when Jeff McConnell ran for office against me, by the way, he said that when he started his company, a government contractor in town called Avian, he made it sound like it was his company. He's a businessman. No, he was a local manager. He was a regional manager is what he was. And soon after being elected, they weren't real happy with him, and he left the company. Then he started up two LLCs of his own. And when I asked him, what are these LLCs, Orion LLC and Orion JD3 LLC, what kind of businesses are these? I can't find them anywhere. What services do you offer? And Councilman or Vice Mayor McConnell said they were government contracts. He's in the government contracting business. Well, guess what? His two LLCs are no longer in business. Administrative dissolution. What I think happened is he simply did not pay the fee to keep his LLC. Now, why would he do that? Why would such a great businessman, Jeff McConnell is a businessman, why would a businessman allow his LLCs to just dissolve? Well, because it's a trick they play. That's why. They move money this way. So I tell you all that so that when I make these comments, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So let's go back. Let's go back to it. I want you to hear this now that you've got the context. I asked them straight out.
And April is the election. One of you had this campaign platform in 2018. Sorry.
Jeff McConnell is a businessman helping to start Avion, a defense contractor on Thomas Drive that this year alone secured over $41 million for our.
But it's election.
So
That's electioneering. That's electioneering. No, it's not.
Here's what I'm going to talk about. So when Vice Mayor McConnell ran, Mr. Mayor, he talked about his business Avion, and soon after being elected, he separated from Avion. Then he started.
That was Jeff McConnell himself. Still electioneering. Still electioneering. Don't talk about this. No, it needs to be talked about because it was a campaign promise. All of you guys run for office saying you're going to bring public trust and transparency, and then you don't want to talk about it when you break your promises.
Two companies, Orion Services and Orion JD3. I asked what they did. They did, he said, government contracting. Now, as a businessman, I would expect these to be successful. Now,
This is still election.
This is very, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
These two businesses, and the reason you're trying to stop me is these two businesses are now out of business. Administrative dissolution. I believe you didn't reapply for the LLC. Is this how you guys hide money? And what kind of businessman are you? What will you use
Thank you
as
for
a
your
campaign platform if you decide to run again?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody
They did not want me to talk about that, did they? I don't know if he's going to run again or not. But you have to admit, if Jeff McConnell runs again, it's going to be very hard to run claiming to be a businessman when, since he was elected a little less than 4 years ago, he's no longer with the company he said was his, Avian, government contractor in town. And he no longer has the two LLCs that he started, Orion Services and Orion JD3. He said they were government contracting businesses. Now, would you agree that government contracting businesses, if you do business, you probably have some contracts, right? And maybe they're 6-month contracts, maybe they're year contracts, who knows? But they clearly didn't last very long. So I wanted you to know that. I also wanted you to know that the city of Panama City Beach will not tell me that question, the answer, who was the electrical contractor. They must have, this is important, the city must have had an electrical contractor in order for the city's own building official, Mark McWalters, to sign off on it. Who did you sign off on, Mr. Building Official? Your initials were up there. Who was it? Because without your signature, you can't turn Gulf Power on. We need an answer, don't we? Do we need an answer? We need an answer. All right, I want to show you a couple of other very important things. There's a county commissioner in town by the name of Tommy Ham. County Commissioner Ham is also, believe it or not, they love to do this in Bay County. There's 5 of them, like 3 of them are in the home building business. Well, Commissioner Tommy Ham has a home building business, and now he's in hot water because he got a contract in Weewahitchka to build a fire station. I'm going to show you the news report in a moment. I'm also going to show you in just a moment the funniest thing that happened at the city council meeting, and this was knee-slapping funny. The city has a lawsuit against it, a racial discrimination lawsuit against it. They're scheduled for trial in March. I think it's going to go longer because there have been some more discrepancies, some more things the city has done. Now, to show that they're not racist, the city's been doing all kinds of stuff. They wished everybody happy Kwanzaa. Joking. They've been doing all kinds of stuff, and they wanted to. They called up about 6 weeks ago some of the street department employees, who are, a lot of them are black, and they went up there. They paraded them around. As soon as that meeting was over, one of them got fired. Another one resigned in protest, and they suspended 2 others for 3 days. But the city is, and the lawsuit alleges that they cannot use the restroom in the brand new city hall. They need to go use that building where they house them down the road. The dingy little, the dingy building where they keep the street department employees. But at the last meeting Thursday night, Paul Casto, Councilman Casto, he got up there and read a resolution, a Martin Luther King Jr. resolution. And in a moment, you're going to see Paul Casto sing free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. Whereas the city, you're not going to believe what I'm going to show you in just a minute.
Hand caught in the cookie jar? Sometimes bad habits continue even into adulthood. I'm El Saline, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan can make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. Okay, I want to go back and I want to show you, let's see, how do I get back here? I want to show you, here we go. You got to see Paul Casto stand up. And, oh, by the way, these were the council members after the meeting. Oh my goodness, I forgot to tell you about this.
So after the city council meeting, Paul Casto, there's Mayor Sheldon, Vice Mayor McConnell, they all went to have drinks and food together. Is it a violation of sunshine law? We don't know. We don't know what they talked about. They say they never talk about any business. They're not allowed to talk by law about any issues that they may vote on in the future. But this is, oh, geez, I'm not showing it to you. Okay, hold on. I gotta show you this picture. This is too much. All right. Boy, this is amazing. This is where they went. There's a picture of them out at dinner. Here we go. You see that? There they are. There's the mayor. There's Vice Mayor McConnell. And to the right of Mayor Sheldon is Paul Casto. Now, is it a sunshine law violation? Most elected officials on the same board in city or county government won't do this because of the appearances of impropriety. But these cats, they don't care. I mean, they absolutely don't care. All right, so let me show you Paul Casto. Here's a picture, weird body language of Vice Mayor McConnell. If you haven't seen all of this, it's at the Bernie Thompson Show on Facebook. All right. Now, what's funny about this is the city has a resolution. Okay. They're calling it Martin Luther King Jr. Day. They've designated it Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And here's Paul Casto, who's reading the resolution. Tell me how sincere he sounds right here.
Free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. Whereas, for these reasons, we honor.
You gotta forgive me, but this is so funny. He's free at last, free at last. They've got a racial discrimination lawsuit against them. They treat their black employees like hell. All right, but they're going to parade people up here, and they're going to pretend that they give a damn. Free at last, says Paul Casto. Free at last. Thank God Almighty. If it would have said end quote, I think he would have said end quote if he was reading that. Free at last, end quote. And then he says, whereas the city.
Free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. Whereas, for these reasons, we honor Dr. King and Christine. Free at last.
All right. So let me show you that was what I wanted to show you. Also, these guys immediately went to a restaurant afterwards. What you talk about, it's plausible deniability is what it is. That's why they do that. It's plausible deniability. But it's certainly, don't you think it shows the appearance of impropriety when after the meeting they go to restaurants and sit at the well, Bernie, there's people around that can hear them. I understand. We'll see how it plays out. All right. I want to also share with you the story about the county commissioner, Tommy Ham. And I'm just going to go straight to WMBB, where you'll hear Huey Lewis in the news. Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis is their news director, but he's now an anchor again. And I call him Huey Lewis in the news because he is plugged in. He is plugged in with the local establishment. And the fact that, well, he didn't say Tommy Ham's name, Commissioner Ham, who is the home builder that screwed up the concrete at the Weewahitchka Fire Department that he built, that they're building, his company, Winterfell Construction. But the news report does mention Winterfell Construction. All right. Now, why a county commissioner here is getting contracts over there? Well, I think we know why. But again, appearances of impropriety, damn right. Absolutely. But the fact that WMBB said his name in the report may signal something. And I don't know for sure. But I think this is worth sharing with you. So let's do it. So here, and this is about 2 weeks ago, I believe, that this story came out. But I want to share it with you. Let's watch it together. Here's Huey Lewis in the news, WMBB reporting on Tommy Ham.
Hitchcock City commissioners are at odds with a local contractor over a new fire station property. As our media partner, the Port St. Joe Star newspaper, is reporting, city officials say there are...
By the way, the Port St. Joe Star newspaper, the day after I did the story and told you that they're partners with Todd Neves Media Solution, that does the campaign advertising for the establishment candidates. Well, now that marketing guy, he now has his own publishing company. And I told you about that. And the very next day, Huey Lewis in the news here talks about how our media partner, he's very proud, our media partner, the Port St. Joe Star, that's Neves Media.
Are construction flaws. As News 13's Emily Riley tells us, it's unclear at this point whether the project will be completed and who is going to do that work.
Hitchcock City leaders discussed problems with their new fire station project during a special meeting last month. They say inspectors found a large crack in the concrete floor. They say the work by the contractor Winterfell Construction was unsatisfactory. They unanimously voted to contact Winterfell's bonding company and report the problems. Winterfell Construction is owned by Bay County Commissioner Tommy Ham. Ham declined to do an interview about this story, but provided this statement. Ham says he's working through potential design problems with the city and is striving to come to a resolution. But according to Hitchcock City officials, the cracked floor is not the only issue. They say there have been a lot of delays. Winterfell blames the delays on above-average rainfall, a death of a company employee, and supply chain shortages. If the fire station is not completed by April, the city could lose FEMA funding. The Star reports the city's attorney sent a letter to Winterfell's bonding company and is waiting for a response. We reached out to a number of City leaders, but they declined to comment due to pending litigation. The city attorney did not respond to our request. In Hitchcock, Emma Riley, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
Nobody's talking. All right. Nobody's talking. But what we should be talking about is why in the hell local elected officials are also building, own home building companies and get all the contracts that have to do with FEMA funding too, by the way, and low-income housing. Whenever you see FEMA funding low-income housing, and you're going to see a lot of that, you're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff, I would expect that there are prying eyes. Remember, the FBI has been doing they've got you talk about a dragnet. It is a wide dragnet on public corruption throughout Bay County and its cities and its elected officials and the bureaucrats and the contractors, actually. But, hell, get it while you can, right? Get it while you can seems to be the motto. All right, that's about all I have for you. I just wanted to tell you about that stuff. The thing to keep an eye on that I think is, that I have a little bit of focus on is that the city of Panama City Beach broke its permitting laws. And they should not go after one more person with a permit violation until they come clean about what they did. And they're going to have to answer for it because by law, they have to pull permits to build all that stuff at Popeye Park. And they have to have an electrical contractor, which they still have not told me the name, which makes me believe they absolutely did not have an electrical contractor. But yet the building official, Mark McWalters, he signed off on it. This is going to come to a head. We're going to get an answer. And just like us, city of Panama City Beach, you have to follow the laws as well. All right. I want to thank those of you who support my efforts, including the Unknown Patriot. And I'll be back with you with more soon.